If you like poker, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how I use AI to build apps like this poker hand simulator. I'm Apps by Andrew. I quit my $450K job to pursue entrepreneurship full time. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5-step formula I use to build things that people actually want. After years of repeated failures, I finally figured out a formula that works for me. I used to struggle with starting projects and not finishing them. Or I would launch a project to crickets. I had spent months building something that nobody wanted. It all changed when I discovered this formula. This formula will help you filter out bad ideas that should never be started, and it'll help you focus your time on only the most promising ideas so you don't waste your time. If you use this formula, your users will be begging you for more. Okay, step one, the first and most important step of building anything, is buying a domain name. Just kidding, don't do that, but that's what I used to do. The 5-step formula to building things that people actually want is step 1, plan, step 2, validate, step 3, design, step 4, build, and step 5, distribute. Let's dive right into it. Step 1, plan. This step is the foundation of every project. Benjamin Franklin said, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." Abraham Lincoln said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." And yet I meet so many founders who get an idea and start coding right away. I used to be guilty of this. We get hyped up our idea and we want to start, but that usually leads to burnout. Without a properly laid out plan, we're setting ourselves up for failure. We're more than likely going to quit before we finish, or we're building something that we shouldn't even be spending our time on in the first place. So if you're tired of starting projects but not finishing them, then make sure you plan first. So how do we do it? To create a plan, we need a goal. In my case, I'm trying to build a viral web app that entertains people enough so that they share it on social media. I brainstormed and came up with the idea of a tool that generates poker videos that can be shared on social media. That's the goal. Now I think through, what tools will I need? Can it be done? How long will it take me to build? And what are the difficult parts that I'm most likely underestimating? I like to ask myself, if this project takes twice as long as I think it will and has half of the impact, would I still do it? If the answer is still a yes, then and only then will I go forward. And if not, back to the drawing board. It's better to save time than waste time on the wrong idea. Now that we have our plan, it's time to execute. But wait, before we start building, we have to validate our assumptions. See, in our planning phase, we made one key assumption. Do you know what it is? We assumed that if we built a video generator, people would actually like the videos and share them. Our entire plan of building this thing so that we could drive traffic relies on that assumption. So we have to test it before we invest too much. So what I did was I coded a prototype as quickly as I could. I don't care whether it's scalable or maintainable. I just want to get this up and running in as little time as possible. In software engineering and in business, time is our most limited resource, so we must be as stingy with it as possible when deciding when to spend it. Luckily, we live in an amazing time where we have tools like AI and Cursor. So let's build our super bare bones prototype that can get us some initial videos out that we can post to social media and see how people respond to them. With this bare bones app, we can generate a few videos to post. It's all very manual. The values are hard coded. This is okay. We're just validating whether people actually like these videos or not.
Okay, so these are the posts I've been making. You can see this one. It's just a video made from the hand simulator, and we have 32,000 views. 90 upvotes. People are commenting on it. They love it. This was posted in Our Poker, so very relevant to where we're trying to promote. And then we've also been doing them on YouTube. So we can see here, 2,300 views, 24 likes. So people like our content and they're not pissed off by it. They're actually really enjoying it.
That means validation was a success. The core assumption our plan was leaning on was that people enjoyed these videos, and we proved it to be true. So now we can move on to the next step, design. Now that we know we're building something that people actually want, we can dedicate more time to building the fully usable platform. But before we start coding, we need to know what to code. So let's make a design.
So this is the design we made. I always use Figma, and I always start with a very rough draft. So nothing here is what it's gonna look like final. We're kind of just laying out where everything should look and thinking through how people are going to use our app. We have our nav bar up here, recently created simulations here, And here is the UI where they're going to choose the hand they want to run. Now, I did this very intentionally to make this as simple as possible. This could have been like drop-down menus or like text inputs, but I made it super simple. I think that always makes products just that much easier to use, and it actually makes it easier to code as well. This is the second screen where the video is going to actually play. And then when I'm done designing, I like to think through the code, kind of the architecture. I define the types that I'm going to use and the data structures to save the data. For this one, shareability was important, so I even mapped out what the URLs and permalinks are going to be so that people could share their simulations.
In our design, it's important to think through how our user wants to use the app. What are the things they might find confusing? How can we make this as simple as possible? Simplicity is what I always aim for in design. It makes the experience better for a user, but it also reduces the amount we have to code. Now that we have a plan, we validated it, and we create our design, it's finally time to build. Earlier in my career, I would have just jumped straight to this step as soon as inspiration struck. But now, after having done this dozens of times, I can say that this process prevents me from having unfinished products and wasting time on things that nobody wants. This may seem like the most important step, but in these days for me, I actually think it's the least important step. Up to this point in the earlier steps, we should have done so much planning, validation, design that this part is pretty much just straightforward. We're just getting the ideas from our head into code.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to code is the nav bar. This is the prompt I'm giving Cursor. This is the component it gave me, and this is what it looks like. A simple nav bar. Next, I want to build this UI for the user to select the hand they want to run. I didn't use Cursor for this because I felt like I could just do it faster by hand. I use Tailwind as a design system, and it really helps me make UIs like this super quickly. Next, you want to add this part here. I didn't draw it out in the Figma, but I sort of understand in my head what I want. This is going to be the part where they can choose the cards they want. Here's the prompt I gave Cursor. And this is what it looks like. Now, the version that Cursor gave me wasn't quite this. I did have to tweak it a bit, but it did get the gist of the functionality right. Lastly, we need to make this screen where the user can actually view the simulation they made. I did most of this by hand using the Remotion library, but I did use Cursor to give me this copy and paste functionality. This is the prompt I used for the copy and paste. That's it. Our product's complete.
There it is. Our product works, and I can't wait to start telling people about it. Finally, step 5, and to me, nowadays, this is the most important step. A bad product with good distribution will still get some users. And you could have the greatest product ever, which you probably don't, but if you did, nobody would know about it, and you wouldn't have any users. Distribution is fundamental to our overplan, and if we have a great idea for a product, but don't know of a way how we could distribute it, it's still a bad idea. A good product and a good idea needs to be buildable, solve an important problem, and have an easy way to reach the desired users. So for this product, all we have to do is use it. Create videos, schedule them to post, and give people the ability to create their own videos. So there you have it, the 5-step framework to build things that people actually want. First, we made a plan. This is such an important step, and so many of you will probably want to skip this. But this step is important. We need to figure out what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're going to execute it. By planning, we can eliminate weeks to months of wasted time building something that we don't finish or that no one uses. Next, we validated our assumptions. We assumed that people would enjoy these hand simulation videos, but we needed proof. So we built a quick prototype, manually posted the hard-coded videos until we had enough evidence, hard evidence, to validate that people actually like the content. Then we moved on to our design. We try to design to make our product as simple to build and easy to use as possible. During the process, we're thinking about how we're going to lay out the code and the architecture. And remember, design is never finished. As soon as you launch your app and users start using it, you'll understand ways that your app could be improved. So just because you have things designed now in a certain way, as you add users, you'll discover new ways that users want to use your app, which will influence your design choices. Fourth, and only after we've planned, validated, and designed do we actually start to code. This should be the most straightforward step of the whole process. Everything we did leading up to this should have laid the foundation for what we want to code. Everything should be top of mind, and we're just translating these thoughts into our IDE. And last, but definitely not least, we need to distribute. What's the point of building something if nobody uses it? Now that we finally built our app, we need to get the word out so people can use it. Social media is an excellent way to get the word out. for completely free. Thank you for watching. I hope that the process laid out in this video helps you in some way. I spent over a decade trying and failing to learn this process the hard way. If this saves you any time and steers you away from wasting time and effort, then I consider it a success. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe and share this video with a friend. They really help and they'll let me know what types of videos you guys find helpful. Best wishes and keep building.